few of the only one. They're only woman, the only person of color. You're a reflection on them. And so they got to be extra, like toughness dialed up. And at least in my experience, my biggest allies in business and people have helped me lean towards being men.
You feel like you are wearing that role and there can only be one woman, then you feel like there's more competition.
The jealousy they feel towards you and how protective they are of their own roles and their own position.
Work tomorrow. Joke's on him. I ain't got no damn job.
Welcome back to Gets It Out. Now today we have a video from Peace World. Without further ado, let's get into this.
I uploaded a video explaining that I named my women's only gym the Girl Spot so that it abbreviates to the G Spot so that men never find it. A man, of course a man, commented on that video and he said, "Embarrassing. Good luck getting any women to sign up. LOL." You see, I announced the opening of my women's only gym on Sunday the 2nd of February. Today is Sunday the 9th of February, so it's been exactly 1 week. In the space of a week, 8,602 women have registered their interest for my women's only gym. That is called the Girl Spot and abbreviates to the G Spot so that men never find it. You see, when men think that women-only spaces will not work, that confirms to me that women-only spaces will work because the joke was never for you, sweetie. The joke was for the girlies. And sometimes, just sometimes, you need to ask yourself, why am I so bothered about women-only spaces?
Well, look, me personally couldn't care less about women's only spaces. My gym has a women's only space, and I think it's fantastic. I think there should be more women's only spaces, more women's only gyms. The funny thing about Misandrist, though, is that everything they do is centered around the hatred of men. The first ones to speak about decentering men, but their whole being is centered around how much they don't like. Because this woman created a gym, abbreviated the G Spot, with men in mind. Another funny thing about Misandrist, and it is really funny because it's something that I've exposed before, and I always get feminists in the comments trying to tell me I'm wrong. Now, what is it I always say about these Misandrists? They hate men so much, but yet they cannot keep their legs closed. I named my gym the G Spot so men wouldn't be able to find it. Well, I guess the guy that put a baby in you didn't have to find the G Spot. I don't get it. I don't know why this is the case, but it is. Okay, they don't like men. Can't keep their legs closed, though. And there'll be a feminist, oh, misandrists don't have kids. Misandrists don't have kids. Yeah, they do. They really do have kids. And what's that dynamic like? I don't know if this is a girl or a boy, but boy, either way, they shouldn't be doing this.
Journal put out a fascinating article on female managers with an analysis of people who prefer to have a female manager broken out by age and gender. Unsurprisingly, the highest rate of people who prefer to have a female manager are women between the ages of 18 and 29. And this shrinks drastically. So by the time women are in the latter stages of their career, they are much more likely to prefer to have a male boss. I think there's a giant misconception when you are a young woman in the workplace that you are going to go to work and have a female manager who is going to be not only...
You know what's funny? They hate each other more than they hate men. This is why.
Your manager and boss relationship, but also serve as a mentor and advocate for you. And something my friends and I talk about a lot is the sense of resentment that we were surprised to see from more senior women. And it's not all senior women, and I really want to be clear on that. But there is an idea, I think, from some female leaders that they had to suffer and make their own way in a male-dominated field, and they do not need to be advocates for women in the workplace, or that women who are so much more junior than them already have it so much easier that they cannot relate to these women. But if you're a young woman who is at work and you anticipated having a really close relationship with a female manager and were so excited by it and have become disillusioned by that concept, you are far from the only person. And this analysis is really interesting to read.
So there are a lot of women who are coming out and speaking about the fact that they don't like having female bosses. And they're speaking about their experiences with female bosses. And they're talking about how shocked they were because, like this woman said, a lot of women go into work thinking yeah, I have a girl boss, we're going to be friends, it's going to be great. And they enter the workplace and they realize that isn't the case.
Like my experience when I would go to a job interview was like, if there was a Black woman, for example, on the other side interviewing me, I'm like, oh, I'm definitely not getting it.
Why?
Really, that person works at a company where they're probably the only one or a few of the only one. They're the only woman, the only person of color. You're a reflection on them. And so they got to be extra, like toughness dialed up. And at least in my experience, my biggest allies in business and people have helped me lean towards being men over women. And it's like an unfortunate.
I will say it's the same for me. The worst
really.
things that have happened to me in the workplace have happened from women. When you feel like you are wearing that role and there can only be one woman, then you feel like there's more competition against the other women. And so it's important for all of us to look at that and say, like, we're not going to fall into that. There can be so many of.
Look, she mentioned it, and it's all about competition. In the real world, men don't view women as competition. Right? A man is never going to achieve something and then compare himself to a woman. That's just not how we operate. That's how women operate a lot of the time, right? You see these women collecting awards and they're comparing themselves to men. So if a man is your boss, he's above you, he knows there's no competition. So there's no need for him to look at you as, you're my subordinate, right? But when it's two women, even though that dynamic is the same, you're subordinate, this is your boss, women will start comparing shit that isn't like work related. Like your family situation. Are you child free? Oh, maybe they have a child and they're not happy with their family situation. Or maybe it's the opposite way around. They will start comparing and competing with things that might not even be work related.
You know what's wild? It's in the mind of a woman. Like a lot of times you look at all of the mistakes women made is based off emotion. And they can't help it. So they do things like this.
How beautiful are you? Are you better looking than your boss? Might be a problem. It might be.
I could write an entire book on the woes of having a female boss, but no one prepares you for the one-sided beef, the documentation, the micromanaging, the jealousy they feel towards you, and how protective they are of their own roles and their own positions. Nobody prepares you, especially as a childless woman who is 40, no one prepares you for them and their little microaggressions towards being childless, being queer in the workplace, and having the nerve to be attractive, well put together, and well spoken. Oh my gosh. So you can tell where I am in life. I'm pretty frustrated with the way of the world. And I very much would like a male boss.
Stop.
To go off on how women are terrible bosses to other women.
So I used to work for a multinational company being a translator, and this woman wasn't even my boss. She was not my boss. She was the director of finance, but somehow she convinced herself that she's my boss. Although
What do those look like? Is that a special woman?
I was actually an assistant and translator for somebody completely different. So she used to call me in her office and ask me the most inappropriate, highly aggressive questions. And it would always just send me in tears. Like I would always end up just crying in the bathroom. And I remember this one time she called me to her office and I had a dress. There was no dress code and I was like 19. So I was wearing like a shorter dress. And she's like, come to my office now. I go to her office and she looks at me and she's like, are you even wearing underwear under that? And I just remember I froze because I was a teenager and I didn't know what the hell to respond to that. And I was just like, yes, I'm wearing underwear. In fact, I wasn't just wearing underwear, I was wearing shorts. And so then she dismissed me and I went to the bathroom and I cried my eyes out, wishing that this would stop, but it never did. I was very lucky to have actually good bosses. Some of them were women, some of them were men. But I will never forget that because I didn't expect that kind of schmexual harassment to come from a woman. And it was very shocking to me. That is something that I'm used to from men, not from women. So it was like kind of like a double betrayal of, wow, I thought I'd be safe with you, but no, that was not the case. I still hate her to this day, and I wish her nothing but the worst.
Just more evidence that the sisterhood doesn't exist. All right, the idea of women sticking together doesn't exist. People don't align themselves to other people based on gender. It's never been a thing. Right? It's never been a thing throughout history. You can't find a time where all men came together or all women came together on the basis that they were men or women. It just doesn't make sense. So you might find that men, for example, their worst boss might be a man. But like, okay, like we didn't expect men to like us because we were men. Because
Yeah.
what the fuck is that about? Right? But women expected other women to like them just because they're women. And when they realize that isn't the case, this becomes a big deal. When in reality, it shouldn't be a big deal. It shouldn't be a big. You should not expect someone to like you because they're the same gender as you.
Y'all, I done lost another nigga trying to be funny. I'm gonna show y'all my iPad because I don't feel like playing with the green screen today. So at first he said, good night. I said, you don't have any money, do you? This was after he invited me over and I said, I'm not fucking coming because I ain't coming without no money. I said, you don't have any money, do you? Just be honest with me. That's what I said. I love to start shit. He said, ew, didn't gonna see me money. Talking about you're a weirdo. LOL. No, you're broke. LOL. And he said, you won't ever know. Good night. LOL. My taxes are public. Also, LOL. Use your degree to figure it out, gang. I pay taxes on $500,000 each year. LOL. You're a kid to me, Niani. Literally. Literally. And you just proved it with that dumbass question. The real question is, can you count out 20K right this second? I don't know why he would ask me that because, bitch, I'm a girl. I don't care if I couldn't count out $20 right now. Face card never decline. You need the money. Well, if not, you have the audacity for even asking.
What the fuck does that mean? It doesn't matter if I have money because I'm a girl. He got defensive because you assume that he was broke. Men get very defensive over their money and their height and some other things, right? Well, yeah, you don't have any money, do you? Why do you assume that I'm broke? Am I giving up broke vibes? Like, what? Yeah, he's gonna get defensive and he's asking you, do you have money? And your response is, it doesn't matter because I'm a girl. What the fuck? My face card never declines. Let me get
me that. My penthouse $500,000. All you have to do is Google, use context clues. If you not getting some money out of me, look in the mirror. You don't suck no, throw no, cook no meals, clean no cribs around here. Why would you ever see $1 from me? I'm not Molly the Maid.
Yeah, what? Why would you ever think you're gonna get some money if you ain't doing nothing for the money? You just come over here thinking we're just giving out free money. You get some free money. You gotta do something for it. Yeah, I like that.
Okay, and they got prostitutes for that, honey. I said, you seem a little tense. Having financial difficulties will do that to you. Get some rest. I've been there. It gets better. He said, I'm guessing that's a no to my question. Probably talking about can I count out 20K right now? LOL, financial difficulties, my bills paid until next year in advance. So is
my man shouldn't even stoop that low because you validated her and she feels good. Look at her. Look how she's acting now.
My daughters. That's your child. I would hope so. And then he said, LOL.
She's a troll. She's a troll.
You need some rest. You have to get up for work in the morning. Work tomorrow. Joke's on him. I ain't got no damn job. I said, he said, I haven't worked in 7 years. One of us has student loan debt. The other has 800 credit score, 3 homes in his name. You're a kid. This don't even have to go there. If you needed some money, you could have just said that. I just counted your rent out. He sent me a video, y'all, of him counting money. Talking something. I don't even want to do this. You wanted to do it, bitch. You had that video saved. Don't play with me, yo. I said, you want to call me a bitch so bad, don't you? I think it's funny. I think everything is funny. Anyways, one thing about me, I love to troll a man. Like, I love to see them get all in their feelings, start sweating. Ooh, I'm ashy. Start sweating, start stuttering. I got the money. Chill, boo. Chill. I know you got it.
This is crazy. You know what I'm saying? A broke woman trying to call a man broke. And when that man gets defensive and starts counting money, trying to show you that he's not broke. She's not even upset because she's trolling. But in reality, if you wanted money, you kind of fumbled because he had money. You know, a lot of these women be talking about a sprinkle and all this stuff. They ain't got no game. It's like when we talk about what do you bring to the table, right? Asking that question to someone is never going to turn out well for you. It's never going to turn out well for you. It's better you see with your own eyes what they bring to the table rather than asking the question, right? Because most people don't even know how to articulate that. What do you bring to the table? Most people can't articulate what they bring to the table. You asking a man, are you broke? It's never going to work out well for you. Just see. If you waited a little bit, you would see whether or not he's broke or not. But you asking him if he's broke, now he has to flex on you to show you that he's not broke. Now whatever you guys could have had is done.
All I said was back in the day, bitches was very much colorist as well. And the response to that was name a professional athlete who love interest isn't lighter than a paper bag. If we're talking about colorists, I don't give a fuck about them niggas. Why do you give a fuck about them niggas? I don't care about who anybody love interest is. I care about if they could drip a fucking basketball, act, or throw a football. How does your daddy fucking wife look? My dad, baby mother, ex-wife, was a dark-skinned woman. Hence me. Why would I give a fuck what actor, athlete, or whatever else is doing with a bitch? Unless it's something crazy. I don't care what color they bitches is. Nigga, is you gonna hit this parlay or not? What are we doing? Getting too far away from the plot. Also, LeBron James, though. Yeah, LeBron James. Yeah. The athlete. LeBron. And it always fucked me up because if I'm talking about local colorism, why would you bring that to a conversation of less than 1% of the population? Black athletes that are millionaires, that are playing professional sports, that are also relevant and on TV, that we would even know who their wives and shit are. Who gives a fuck about them? You might as well have asked me, damn, did your teacher like light skins or dark skins? A much more real and valid conversation would be like, your friend group right now, how many of them is cuffing a light skin, how many of them is cuffing a dark skin, and how many of them is cuffing a brown skin, white woman, Asian, so on and so forth. Who give a fuck about what an athlete doing?
It's such a good question. What was your father's type? Right? Was it dark skin? You're out here worried about millionaires. That's not your reality. That's not. You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about what the athletes are doing. They will never see you in life. You will never see them in real life. But people like to live through social media. So people will look at these athletes who are dating white women and they're dating all these other women, and it's like they'll extrapolate that onto all men. When it's like, you understand that they aren't a representative of black men. They are athletes. They're in their own little bubble, in their own little world. You should live in your own world, not their world, because you will never be there. But I genuinely believe that there are a lot of women out there who believe that they could get an athlete if athletes didn't only like white women, for example. Right? That's why they're so upset about it.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you made this far in the video, you're a real one. If you made it this far, also be sure to subscribe. Click that notification bell just to be sure you get my videos as soon as I release them. Thank you guys for watching. See you next video.
Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly.